I mean, if you even look at all the moments in your life where you've had major growth, through some conflict or some sort of trauma or some, I mean, you've gone through something where you've then evolved and become a better version of yourself. But if you're just coasting through life and everything is nice and easy, yeah, I mean, maybe that's good for some. But I think we're all made to constantly thrive to become better versions of ourselves.
Hello and welcome to the Come Alive podcast. Today I'm shooting in Oman from the Jabal Akhtar Anantara Resort. I'm here with Saahil Mehta and we just did a beautiful hike for about 4 hours with our families, with our children. And this is something Saahil has been doing for a long time. So I really want to understand, why does he do these adventurous and I would say getting outside your comfort zone adventures? How does it help him be more who he's meant to be? So welcome Saahil on the podcast, and I'm super happy to have you again with me on the Come Alive podcast. So tell us a little bit about, why do you do this? Let me start with the story that your wife actually told me, that on your honeymoon you made her swim with the sharks, skydive, and some other adventures, which for me would be like, oh my God. So tell us about that journey.
It's quite funny. So the other one was canyoning, where you go down a stream with a canyon, and there are parts where you have to walk, jump, walk along the rocks. My father-in-law actually was sure that I was trying to kill his daughter on our honeymoon.
I would think so.
No, but you asked, why do I do these things? Some of them are ranging in difficulty, but if we look at a trek which is relatively straightforward, it's about just getting outside and spending time with nature. We spend so much time surrounded by concrete walls, going from work to home and then meeting with friends and then just repeating that process again and again. I feel when we're out in nature, we get to bond with Mother Earth. We get to spend a little time in our head. Because when we're trekking and we're walking, we're with other people. But there are moments when you're just in your head, just having a conversation with yourself.
It's like a mindfulness time, and we're just so focused.
Absolutely. So you get time with yourself, you get time with your family, and you get time with friends, and time with Mother Earth. So check so many of the boxes. But the main thing is, you're just getting a bit of a breather. You're getting to smell and breathe the fresh air.
Yeah, the beautiful world as it is, like so raw and so natural, that we don't usually do.
And you've seen the evolution of Mother Earth over millions of years.
Yeah.
These rock formations. I remember when we were walking through the valleys, you could see that the water had, broken down the rock, and this happened over millions of years, and you're getting to witness it and walk through it.
Yeah. And I found lavenders. I mean, they told us to see this, which is lavender. And imagine, in a place where you can't even get the water on time, there was beautiful lavender growing. The learning for me was that where Mother Earth needs to help someone or keep someone alive, it is alive, beautiful, and with so much fragrance. It was awesome, the trek that we did yesterday that we did. And what also I learned during that time is that our own potential is something we are not aware of. Because, of course, we experience so much beauty along the way, like the rock formations, the valley, the caves. The caves is something I had never seen in Dubai or in UAE. And the caves in this Oman, Wadi al-Bawarid that we walked was beautiful. We saw 2 beautiful caves, and it was mind-blowing for me to see that in UAE and so close, in Oman and so close to us, and just walking through. And what I also realized is, in the end, and even during that part, there was a way where we couldn't walk. We had to slide like a Spider-Man. It was like, our own potential is something we are not aware of. The strength that we have within is something we are not so aware of all the time. But when we really need to do it, we can do it. So, what's your perception of that? Because even in the end, we had this upward incline. We had to literally rock climb on like a 400-meter wall.
Yeah.
And our kids, ranging from 7 to 12, they all did it, and
Yeah.
so did we.
Yeah.
So, it's all in the mind, right?
Yeah.
The limitations are all in the mind. The limits are only those limits that we set for ourselves.
Absolutely. And when you're out there, like you said, we're the ones who are preventing our progress. We're saying, it's too hard. I can't. Oh my God, what's going to happen? I'm going to fall. And it's okay to have fear. Fear is a protection mechanism. If we didn't have fear, we'd probably end up doing silly things and people might end up dying because the protection mechanism is not in place. But fear is great as long as it's protecting you. But what's happening nowadays is fear is paralyzing people.
Correct.
It's preventing them from taking that step, from experiencing something magical. Because they said, I can't.
Yeah.
And so when we're walking along that ledge where we had to kind of shuffle, we had the guides there who said, don't worry, we're here to help you through the process. We were all helping one another.
Yeah.
But you saw how easily we got through.
Absolutely. I
Right?
mean,
But when you saw it initially, you're going, how am I going to get across?
yeah, exactly my thought. I was like, I'm actually doing that, and I don't want to say anything out loud because we were in a group, and then there were kids, and I had to just, hold my strength and show my courage and, motivate everybody. Like, we were all motivating each other, which was so beautiful as well. But it was just like, there's no other way. Let's just do this. We have to get through it, And when we had that whole mindset, we did it all.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
And I love what you said. Sometimes you just need that positive, encouragement from others. You want to show strength in front of your children. Yeah, so, sometimes a little bit of ego and pride can come in handy, right? Because you want to be there. You want to show them that, look, I'm strong. You can do it because I can do it as well. It reminds
Yes.
me. So, we talked about swimming with the sharks. So we were swimming with sharks in a lagoon on our honeymoon. And so, a lagoon is very shallow. And we go in there. And I have to admit, I was frightened, right?
Yeah.
It's not like I went in going, ha, 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 sharks, let me go in, And I guess part of the fear comes from not knowing what type of sharks they are, how dangerous they are or not, because not all sharks are very dangerous. And so we had this guide with us, and, I still remember his name, a huge fellow, and he had freedom tattooed on his back,
Wow.
And he's just walking in and he's like that, ha, 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 and he's throwing dead fish in the lagoon.
So
and,
the sharks can come and eat them.
Yeah.
Okay. I've never done it.
And he's saying, Saahil, why would they want to eat you? They have this easy food that's available that I'm just throwing in. And so part of that, my logical, brain kicks in and goes, he's making a bit of sense. And then while we're there, before it's our turn, I see a whole bunch of kids coming out. I'm like, wow, if these 9-year-olds and 10-year-olds are doing it, surely I can do it, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes you need that positive reinforcement or the ego to kick in. There's other motivational factors that make you do it. Now, if I had not done it at that moment in time, I would have constantly told myself, how can a bunch of kids do it and you, a grown man, couldn't even go in, And this guy who's going in with all this positive energy and fearlessness and laughing, he's telling you it's okay. So then you have all the elements saying it's okay, but still, there are times where people will back out and turn away. And then what do they miss out on? They miss out on being free.
Yeah.
And enjoying something that is miracle. I mean, I remember being in the lagoon and I had about 10 sharks circling me. One was a lemon shark, which was about 3 meters in length. That's bigger than me. Much bigger than me, almost double my length. It was just amazing to be in that environment. Now, it doesn't mean I'm excited to go and swim with sharks everywhere in the world, no.
But you wanted to experience it once in a lifetime kind of a thing.
And I might do it again.
Because now it's not fearful anymore.
Yeah, again, you understand the environment.
Yeah.
I'm not going by myself, not knowing what types of shark there are, if they're dangerous or not, because there are sharks that can be dangerous. And I'm going in a controlled environment where people are telling me it's okay. I'm watching lots of other people do it as well in front of me. And so sometimes that gives you the strength as well, because you see others doing it and you go, if they can do it, I think I can do it too.
So, what would you say to someone who's really fearful to doing anything adventurous? I mean, they want to, they have that intention to get outside their comfort zone and do something different, to experience their own potential, experience themselves, know themselves a little bit more. So, what would you tell them? Like, if you would have to, how to overcome that fear and do what they want to do?
So fear is a big topic. And one of the things I ask people, I ask my clients when I'm coaching them, I say, how will life look like when you overcome?
So think the vision, think of the big picture, think of what you will become after you overcome that fear.
Yeah. And what possibilities are opening up for you? We are here at this beautiful resort on Jebel Al Akhtar, right? It's one of the tallest mountains in Oman. And there were some activities which some of us participated in,
yes,
and not everyone. And for those who participated, I mean, all the activities that I did, I'm so glad I did it, because they've created this safe space for you to experience walking along the rocks, zip lining, abseiling.
Yeah. I know my daughter did the abseiling. I didn't do it because I got this skin rash breakout. But my daughter did the abseiling.
Yeah.
She was afraid for a few moments, and then she's like, I really want to do it. So I was like, go, because there were other people going.
Yeah.
I was like, just go do it. And she loved it. Yeah. And she's 11.
Yeah.
And I know a few adults who didn't do it because they were afraid. So it's all about that, just taking that leap of faith, doing it, and then coming out, I think, knowing yourself a little bit more, understanding your fears, understanding your strengths a little bit more, right?
Yeah, so you get to experience the magic of the area. Otherwise, you just come and you enjoy the hotel and the pool, which is also fine for some people. And when you do it, you usually realize that it was a fraction of the scariness that you built up in your head. You thought to yourself, and then when you do it, you go, actually,
it was not that bad.
It's not that bad. Maybe I want to do it again.
Yeah. I know your daughter did it twice, so I know that.
Maybe I want to do it again.
Yeah.
And so it just allows you to explore and see the beauty that Mother Earth offers. And here's the thing, I was having a conversation with someone about this yesterday. Trust is important.
Very important.
And everyone trusted that the hotel team at the recreation center set it up in such a way that safety was the highest priority.
Correct.
Safety was the highest priority. And if they did slip, if they did fall, they had all these safety mechanisms in place through a harness that you would be fine.
Yeah. So we need to trust their process and trust that they have built this experience for us to enjoy it.
Yeah, so trust is a big thing.
Is a big thing. And
trusting the rock you step on.
Yeah.
Trusting the equipment that you have, your shoes, your harness, your helmet, all the other things you're wearing. Trusting yourself. Trusting the guide.
Trusting the universe.
Yeah. So there's a lot of trust that plays. Because when you have trust, then it's almost like you're taking that leap of faith.
Yeah.
That I am going to be okay.
Yeah. So we spoke about trust. We spoke about how to overcome fear by thinking about what and who you will become after you have actually gone through that challenge or gone through that exercise or activity. And what else do you think is something people should know? I know you're doing a retreat soon.
Yeah.
So you're working on, and you of course climb mountains from years since I know you. I think your first was Mount Everest Base Camp.
Yeah.
And you want to take a bunch of people now with you to experience this magic and beauty. So how would you prep them for that? And why should they do it?
So thank you for bringing that up. There's a mountain which is a 3,000 meter peak, and it's the highest mountain in a range. And a lot of people, when they think about trekking, mountaineering, anything, right, that they're not done before, they go, I don't know if I can do it. It's probably very hard. And so I said to myself, Saahil, how amazing would it be to take someone up a physical mountain? Because we're all climbing metaphorical mountains.
Yes, absolutely we are. Every single day.
Right?
Yes.
It could be for health, for career, for wealth, relationships. I mean, there's multiple mountains. Personal development, spirituality, and the list goes on and on.
Yes.
Okay? But how can we amplify those efforts? And I thought to myself, it'd be amazing to take someone up an actual mountain, for them to stand on the top of a summit, the highest in the range, and just look around and tell themselves, I did it.
Yeah.
I did it. And so I've organized one where it's not hard, it's not technical. We've arranged as much comfort as we can. So it takes away some of these things like, oh my God, I don't know if I can sleep on the floor. Well, no, we've organized beds in the tents, for example.
Oh, beautiful.
It might not be the lovely cushy mattress that you're used to, but at least it's a bed, and you're high elevated and you get a bit of a mattress and all that. So we have made it a little bit more luxurious, because we said to ourselves, we want to eliminate the concerns that people may have.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, you're climbing up this mountain, which you thought that you couldn't. Once you do it, it triggers and opens up your mind that, oh my God, if I can do this, what else can I do?
Correct. So it's about the journey though, right? It's about, of course, the end result is the feeling of that you've achieved something that you thought was unachievable. That's the end result. But it's about the journey too, right? You have to, I know you've discussed this with me, you have to kill so many demons in your head while you're going up, because there are stages, there are days, like you discussed with me about the Kilimanjaro trip that you did, and of course the one which you did in Mexico as well. But it was about each day you have to also kill the negativity in your mind. It's about every day you are becoming a better person. You are becoming someone who can silence the negativity and amplify the positivity. So that brings you strength. I feel for me, that experience would be knowing yourself so much more. Because if you don't know yourself, you'll always live in either conflict or assumptions. And you'll never be able to meet your true self. You'll never be able to know who you truly are and why you are here on this earth. So tell us a little bit about that journey.
Yeah, because otherwise you're in your comfort zone, right? And we all know that in your comfort zone, you're not going to grow. Maybe a little bit.
But it's all about the growth along those days.
I mean, if you even look at all the moments in your life where you've had major growth.
It's when your back is pushed against the wall, like they say, right?
Many times, yeah, right? You've gone through some conflict or some sort of trauma or something. You've gone through something where you've then evolved and become a better version of yourself. But if you're just coasting through life and everything is nice and easy, I mean, maybe that's good for some. But I think we're all made to constantly thrive to become better versions of ourselves.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah. So
we are meant to soar and come alive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so on the mountain, you're facing like you said, you're facing your inner demons as well, because you spend a lot of time with yourself. But it's about time that we face them. It's about time that we gave them the time and energy, because that's an opportunity to convert a demon into an angel. We have that opportunity.
Beautifully said.
Right? I mean, it can be scary at times, of course. But how long are we going to keep shying away?
Yeah.
How long are we going to keep saying, I'll address it in the future?
So many of us are waiting to start living. I heard this quote, and the day I heard this quote I was like, that is so true. So many of us just wait to start living. So by going on these adventurous trips, by expanding yourself, by pushing yourself, I think you really start living. Is that right to say?
Yeah. And the beauty is, Meher, you realize you don't need much to live.
Yeah.
When you're in the mountain, you're really carrying just the essentials.
Yeah.
Right?
And you need to carry everything, only the essentials, right? Declutter from everything else that is not serving you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, of course, again, because it's more luxury, we arrange porters to help to carry your bags, but there's a weight limit.
Yeah.
Because, these people are, whether it's a mule or a combination of mules and people carrying the bags, there's a weight limit. And so when you're packing, you say, okay, I'm just going to take the things that I really need. And everything else, I'm not going to take up with me. And even your day pack, which carries some food, some water, some layers, because the weather can change, you realize that every kilo makes a
Matters.
difference, right? Because if you're carrying that extra weight that doesn't serve any function or purpose, 1 kilo over 10 minutes may not feel like much, but over 5 or 6 hours, it makes a difference.
And that's the same with life, right?
Yeah.
That I would like to adapt it to our life.
Yeah.
Every kilo or every thought that is not serving us, every belief that is not serving us, every activity, every person who's not serving us, it's a weight.
Yes.
So let it go and just move forward in life.
Yeah.
The ability to do that will actually get you to the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
So this taking people up on the mountain is actually a great exercise for them to understand life as well. Overall, correct?
Absolutely. There's so many, like you just said, that's just one analogy. There's plenty of analogies, and I don't want to talk about all of them because I want the element of surprise to be there. But you will discover so much on this trip. You'll come back a different person.
Fantastic. Love it, love it. And hopefully I'll do that soon with you. I've been wanting to do it since many, many years. So let's sum this up and tell me 3 things what someone can do to prepare themselves to go on this kind of an adventure or to go and push themselves beyond what they believe are their limits.
So the first is pick something that is big.
Okay.
Right? I mean, don't go and say, oh, I'm going to go for a stroll in the park this weekend. I haven't done that. No. Pick something big. Because that then gives you a target. When you have a summit in mind, you have direction.
Correct.
And so it's so important to have direction. So pick something big which you know is pushing outside your comfort zone. I mean, I know people, they came up with me on Kilimanjaro and they said, we've turned 40. We feel like we haven't done anything monumental in our life. And when we heard you were going and, their friends, they said, we're coming with. We're going to do it. So they pick something big. Right? Now, it doesn't have to be Kilimanjaro. That's a big commitment as well. It's 7 days on the mountain. The one that I'm organizing, for example, is 3 days on the mountain. Beautiful. So you can do something like that, right? Or find any other activity that's something that's big, pushing you above your limits. And then find people who've done it. Read about it, because that helps you to understand.
Correct.
Find a group that maybe has been used by someone else. And start researching. And pay the money. I find when you pay the money, that's a commitment. And once you paid, it's a lot harder to turn around.
Yeah.
And pay with someone who says it's non-refundable.
Correct. So these are the 3 things that can set you up to start that journey, to see the big picture, to push yourself outside your comfort zone and live a life you truly deserve. Correct?
Yeah. And just imagine, close your eyes and visualize what it feels like to have accomplished whatever that adventure is.
Yeah. And like we said, it's a metaphor for life. And it's an experience that will make you grow, learn, and experience life and yourself more than what you can imagine. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for today. Thank you that we took out this few moments to speak about this topic, because I really, really feel that for me, doing these hikes, I've probably just done hikes and rock climbing and abseiling, kind of very small things compared to climbing a mountain. But for me, I disconnect with everything else. I am focused on the path. I am focused on being successful on each step so I can reach the end. And then, of course, also understanding my own limits, understanding that everything is in the mind. Because when I saw that incline, and I was like, oh my God, are my kids going to be able to do it? Am I going to be able to do it? I mean, my husband injured himself and ultimately he did it. So really, the limits that we have are only those limits that we set on ourselves and in our head. There are no limits. We are infinite, and I think we have unlimited potential.
So well said, Meher. I mean, like you said, the kids, they didn't even have difficulty. They were
loving
zipping
it.
up.
And
that was their
loving
favorite
it.
part of the
Exactly.
trek.
We asked them after the trek that
Yeah.
what were your favorite part, and they all said was the end.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was beautiful. So thank you again, and wishing you all the best for the next mountain climb with peers. Hopefully I can join you. But all the best. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for watching this episode of the Come Alive podcast. This is a special episode from Oman with Saahil Mehta. We just completed a beautiful hike and we wanted to share this experience with you. Thank you again. Please share it with whoever needs to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on whichever platform you are hearing this. Thank you again.